We may have returned safely from the Nether, but we have to go back in. Hey y'all, I'm the Southern Ma'am, but all my friends call me Tisoma. Last time in the land of Terremydia, we started our goal of obtaining 25 items to help furnish the interior of our base. We went caving in the overworld, discovered a mine shaft, and even made a portal for our first trip to the Nether and a little piglin bartering. We made a lot of progress, but we're still lacking a few items to check everything off our list. We already have a lot of check marks on our goal board. Many of the remaining items are found in the overworld. However, I think we need to be brave, go back into the Nether, and look for a fortress so we can find some blaze rods and nether wart. Well, we had a power blip and I just lost some footage, so I'm going to head back into the Nether and try to recreate it for you. Let's try to find a structure. Oh look, the land is closest here, so we can bridge across. We'll try this way. This kind of ends. Let's try going up here and looking around. Oh look, soul sand. There's a new biome to explore. Wow. A bastion. A treasure bastion. Oh look, there were probably skeletons here. Arrow, 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 arrow. Die. Power blip. So that's as far as we've gotten. And we need to try to make it across to this bastion and see what we can find. And a fossil with a ghast, which I'm going to leave in case I die again. I got these spectral arrows from trading with the piglins. So now I have an arrow source. There we go. Skirt around the edges here. Take our time. He found me. Was doing so good. Ooh, demo boots. Oh, and the netherite upgrade. Okay, now we have to be super careful to get home. Take a look at all the goodies we found so far in the Nether. We raided 6 different chests in the bastion. I think that was it. I hope I didn't miss any. But we did find a netherite upgrade as well as an ingot and an ancient debris. We found several dried ghast in the Nether itself. And then we already had 2 from trading with the piglins. And then we found a few more in the fossils. A Soul Speed 2 book from trading and 3 from one of the chests. And then look at all the gold, iron, even some diamond boots and some diamonds, some leather so we can make some books, bone, magma cream. We even killed a ghast and got a ghast tier. So we have definitely got quite the haul of Nether goodies from our adventure so far. The problem is we were at a bastion and not a fortress. We're still missing blaze rods. So we're going to have to go back in and try again, do some more exploring, and try to find a fortress. Wait, there it is. Did you see that? That's a fortress right down below me. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. All right, let's back up a little bit. Let's go back down. Okay. There's a fortress down below me somewhere. Oh, okay, that's a lot of piglins. Okay. What's this fortress? It's right under my feet right here. And just start. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm just going to start digging down. Oh my goodness. All right. Now look, that was pretty good estimation. Pretty good estimation of the distance there. Okay. We have found some fortress parts here at least. I don't know if it's going to be much, but we've... Okay, is this going to be it? Let's try digging. Still fortress here? Okay. Oh. We found the nether wart. Okay. Now we just need to find blazes. Let's harvest some nether wart. All right, let's see. Oh, nether wart. Well, that's useful. We will take it, though. What about this other chest? We broke right into the walls with the perfect room. Oh, gold armor and more nether wart. Nice. Okay. Blaze rod. Yes, we got a blaze rod. Oh, it's so good to be back in this little tiny room, knowing that I'm in the overworld. But we got 4 blaze rods and more goodies. We got lots of nether wart, more horse armor, and gold armor. And we have survived our first trip to the fortress. I added some filters to our chests, and our copper golems are sorting all our supplies from the nether. While they're busy getting us organized, I was able to make some of the final items on our list, like this enchanting table and our brewing stand. Now it's time to stop wandering for a while, stay at home, and decorate each of these rooms in their own unique way. Let's check out our rooms now that we've had time to do some interior design. Welcome to the bedroom, all in pink. We have a little platform here with a double bed and some shelves to add more decorations in the future. I built this like a canopy bed. I always wanted one as a kid. So now I have one in Minecraft with some pink curtains kind of pushed back so you can see inside. Around the back, we have a little work area. Now, this room is storing our weapons and tools and armor, as well as mob drops. So we have our smithing table, a loom, and even a jukebox so we can play some tunes. You might remember that on the other side of this wall are the flowers and jack-o'-lanterns giving light to our great hall. So we have to cover those up somehow, and I decided to make kind of like a big crown molding with stairs and shelves. I think at some point I'll add something to these shelves, maybe some colorful wool or blocks, just to give a little extra texture and design. On the other side of the bedroom is the office, or the enchanting room. We have the same central platform. I used crying obsidian for part of the base, and then I had enough leather from the piglin bartering to make 2 bookshelves. So it's going to take us a little while to fill out those 15 required bookshelves, but we can do it a little at a time. And then, of course, our anvil and our grindstone to help with enchanting, a little glow berries for light, and a workstation along the back with a crafting bench and a cartography table. On the other side of the Great Hall, we have the workroom. Now, this room stores our ores and our stone variants, and so we put plenty of furnaces and blast furnaces for smelting, as well as infinite fuel with these lava dripstone generators, which are working fantastically. On the other side, we have our workstation with a crafting table, a stone cutter, and a fletching table. Someday. On the other side, we have our kitchen where we'll be doing our potion brewing. We also have a smoker so that we can cook our food a little faster, and an infinite water source here in these waterlogged stairs for filling our water bottles. Around the back, we have a little tiny nether wart farm so that we can brew those awkward potions. Now, I definitely want to make some changes in the future. I put birch up here just to cover those jack-o'-lanterns, but that is definitely not what I want. I would rather have some mangrove to bring in those red tones, or even some pale oak with the white, but alas, we don't have either of those yet. In the workroom, I used dark oak for the crown molding to match our storage units because we don't have stone shelves. However, today was the Minecraft Live at TwitchCon, and they announced the dappled forest with poplar wood which is gonna have a gray color. I assume we'll get all the blocks in that gray tone. And so when that drop comes later this year, I'll be exploring and finding that wood to replace this. Now that our side rooms are functional, I want to work on the great hall, or living room as I've sometimes called it. I know that I want to put a feature custom tree here in the center, so I've made a little dirt platform to just mark out that space. I'd also like to make a water feature here under the stairs. I've dug out a little bit. I probably should go a little farther back and a little deeper, but a place for us to add some water and greenery and axolotls. I'd love to have some pet pink axolotls here in our base. So I left a little dry land area up here, and we'll probably make this barrier out of some kind of fence or walls to keep them contained in this space. The Chaos Cubed update is coming soon to Minecraft, and with it, potent sulfur. So we can have bubbles. I think having a geyser or a waterfall here in the corners, and then that water spilling down into our pool would be an interesting feature. I'd also like that water to then continue along the edges and to the center of our base, as if those springs are feeding the roots of our custom tree. Custom trees are difficult, and I am definitely no expert. I could keep editing this one block at a time forever, but I'm going to let it sit and breathe for a little while and consider the progress. I envision this tree as ancient, living here in the center of our base. And so I wanted to make it very overgrown, very dense, and kind of almost willowy, where the outer edges are kind of leaning downward with the weight of the branches. And then it's a little more conical and lighter here in the center, giving it a little bit of shape. So you can see we have the trunk and some branches reaching out through the leaves, and then very full on the flowers. There's a few jack-o'-lanterns hidden inside to give a little bit of light peeking through, so this area is not so dark. Our trunk is made of blocks and planks and slabs, and there are roots that are coming out here to these trenches, and we're going to fill these trenches with water so that the tree is nourished. I've been considering the lighting for the floor, and I've tried a few different things. I added some glow lichen, which of course adds a tiny bit of light, but I just think it looks kind of messy and out of place by itself in this space. Then I thought about our jack-o'-lanterns behind the leaves, and I decided to do it again on the floor and place a jack-o'-lantern below and cherry leaves on top. Now, you don't really see the jack-o'-lantern unless you get really close or you get the right angle. I think just walking around, you wouldn't even notice that there's a jack-o'-lantern underneath those leaf blocks. However, I think it looks kind of strange to just have one flower block here in the floor, so we need to do something else to make this cohesive. What if we made the floor look more ancient and overgrown as well, with some moss and grass scattered around, some dirt and flower petals, and kind of made this area look like it was older and unkempt, and in it we can hide some lighting. I love the way this floor turned out underneath our giant cherry tree. I added moss more densely here next to the water trough where there would be more moisture. And then slowly as it dries out, sprinkled in dirt and coarse dirt and leaf blocks about to the edge where the branches hang down, as if these tree branches are containing this space and this is all able to grow in its shadow. I added jack-o'-lanterns under some of the leaf blocks to give light to the area. Now, I know that we could have just used carpets everywhere. I think I did that. Yes, right here. There's a jack-o'-lantern with a mossy carpet on top, and light can still get through a carpet, but cover over the look of the jack-o'-lantern. However, I like a few of these leaf blocks having the jack-o'-lanterns as a little Easter egg and nod to the window design that we've used elsewhere in our base. I also hid light in the columns. You can't see it from down here, but if you step up on the stairs, there are jack-o'-lanterns under the walls, so that also gives light to this area. I think I'd like to put in either some copper bulbs or redstone lamps hooked up to daylight detectors so we could see if the lights turned on, we'll know it's night outside. I just don't know where to put them, either in the Great Hall or even just in the individual side rooms. Maybe something above the doors? I think I'll craft a few lights and experiment a little bit. After a little bit of research and experimentation, I decided to use redstone lamps. Copper bulbs work a little differently, and I want a very simple on-off light using our daylight detector. The first thing we need to do is dig straight up to the surface so that our redstone lamp can get light from the sky. At the top, we'll place our trapdoors because light can go through those. However, if you see, we are covered in tree leaves here, and we'll have to go up and remove all of these first. Otherwise, we won't have sky access down below. Now we just have to add our redstone lamps and the daylight detectors on top. And since we want them to light up at nighttime, we click them to invert them. As you can see, it's nighttime and our redstone lamps are lit up, telling us that it's night outside. Now that it's daytime, the redstone lamps turned off. So these will indicate to us whether it is night or day based on the lighting of the lamps. I'm going to add this in each of our side rooms so we'll always know when it's time to sleep. Came up here to the surface from our workroom, was attacked by a skeleton, and noticed this. It looks like we've had a fire. Look at all the trees that are damaged and gone. I don't think this is right over our lava, so I think this is probably from a lightning strike. We have had quite a few thunderstorms here, so it looks like we're going to have a little bit of cleanup to do in the future. We are so close to completing our goal board. I think I'm going to brave another trip to the Nether for some piglin bartering. We need a lot more leather to finish off those bookshelves at our enchanting station. In real life, I'm a teacher and I'm an avid reader, and so my home is covered in bookshelves. Now, I still enjoy a good ebook, but there's nothing like turning the pages of a brand new adventure or an old familiar tale. Learning should be an integral part of our lives, no matter our age, and taking that knowledge and understanding it is vital. The Bible says in Proverbs 16:16, "How much better it is to get wisdom than gold. Yes, to get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver." No matter the subject, I hope that every day I can learn a little more because knowledge and understanding are true treasures. Now that the interior of our base is both functional and beautiful, we'll have some time to spend outdoors. We only have a few items left on our goal board, and that includes an axolotl. Now, we visited a lush cave in the past, So maybe we'll go on an adventure to go back to that location and look for an axolotl. The Chaos Cubed update is dropping in just a few days, so we can also explore and try to find a sulfur spring. Well, what did you think? I hope this video inspired you to make a plan and gather what you need to make your surroundings functional, beautiful, and uniquely your own. Good Lord willing and the sun still shines, I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you kindly for watching, and bless your heart.